were three of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
What if everything you thought you knew about Princess Diana was wrong? For decades, the world has adored her as the people's princess, an icon of grace, compassion, and resilience. But what if there's more to her story that no one dared to talk about? In a stunning turn of events, Pope Francis has broken his silence on Diana, and what he said is nothing short of shocking. Could the truth behind Diana's legacy be darker than anyone imagined? Stick around as we dive deep into what Pope Francis revealed, and how it's reshaping everything we thought we knew about the Princess of Wales. The shocking revelation. Pope Francis speaks on Princess Diana. What could Pope Francis possibly have to say about Princess Diana that would shock the world? When the Vatican made an unexpected announcement that Pope Francis was ready to discuss the Princess of Wales, the world was left reeling. Known for his calm demeanor and diplomatic responses, Pope Francis had never publicly commented on the princess, until now. And what he revealed was anything but kind. For years, Diana has been a symbol of compassion, grace, and resilience. Her legacy is built on a foundation of charity work, humanitarian efforts, and her role in breaking royal protocols. Yet, the Pope's comments cast a shadow over that image, questioning her true motives. What could Pope Francis possibly have found troubling about someone so beloved by millions? As he began to speak, the room was silent. His words were not what many expected. Instead of celebrating Diana's philanthropic legacy, he delved into uncomfortable truths that left people questioning the narrative they had always believed. Diana's reputation, once untouchable, was now under scrutiny from an unexpected source. The world was left in shock. Could Pope Francis's assessment of Diana be the truth everyone had ignored for so long? Or was this a strategic move designed to rewrite history? The Pope's silence had been broken, and now, all eyes were on what he would say next. The Vatican's hidden truth about Diana. Why would the Vatican, of all places, suddenly decide to speak out about Princess Diana? For years, Diana's life and legacy have been largely untouchable, celebrated by millions around the world. But Pope Francis's words hinted at something much darker, something hidden behind the scenes that no one had ever dared to reveal. Princess Diana's life was filled with scandal, royal drama, and public admiration. But as Pope Francis's remarks began to take shape, it became clear that there was much more to the story than anyone had realized. According to the Pope, the woman who had captivated the world with her charm was not as innocent as she'd appeared. What did the Vatican know about Diana that the rest of the world didn't? Why did the Pope wait until now to speak? The revelation shocked not just royal watchers, but also those who had adored Diana as a beacon of hope and kindness. Could everything we thought we knew about her be wrong? As more details emerged, it became clear that Pope Francis's comments were not just a passing remark, but part of a broader Vatican agenda. The stakes were high, and the truth seemed more elusive than ever. Could the Pope's words have serious repercussions for Diana's image? What Pope Francis really thinks about Diana. How could Pope Francis, the leader of the Catholic Church, make such an unexpected turn on Princess Diana? The accusations were bold. More than just a critique of her actions, they were an outright challenge to everything she had stood for. Diana, often viewed as a martyr for the royal family and the people, was now facing an unlikely critic. The Pope's assessment of Diana took the world by surprise, focusing on allegations that had never been addressed in public. He alluded to darker aspects of her life that were concealed by the media and even by the royal family. In a powerful speech, the Pope raised uncomfortable questions about her motivations and actions behind the scenes. What could he possibly know about the princess that we didn't? Was Diana simply a victim of circumstance, or was there something more sinister at play? The Pope's silence about her had been deafening for years, but now he was choosing to speak. And what he said was far from flattering. The impact of Pope Francis's words left the world in disbelief. How could someone so adored by the public be the subject of such scrutiny? The accusations he made weren't just about Diana's actions. They hinted at a much deeper, darker side of her life, hidden from the public eye for decades. The Vatican's hidden files. Why had the Vatican kept quiet for so long? Was there a truth that had been buried deep within the Vatican's archives? And if so, what would happen if it was exposed to the world? Pope Francis's words were not just random musings. They were based on files and documents that had been locked away for years. Now, it seemed, they were about to be revealed. The Vatican had long kept a close watch on the royal family, particularly on Diana, who was often at the center of controversy. But what did the Church know that others didn't? According to insiders, there were records and files about Diana's interactions with the Church that painted a different picture from the public narrative. Was she truly as benevolent as the media portrayed, or was there a more complex and even sinister side to her? As Pope Francis's words began to circulate, speculation about these hidden files grew. What was really documented about Diana? And why did the Vatican choose to reveal this information now? The world was now grappling with the idea that the untold stories about Diana could completely change how we view her legacy. The question was not whether the Vatican would continue to reveal more, rather, what they would say next. Could the files truly uncover the untold truth about Diana's life? Or would it simply reinforce the mysterious image she left behind? The true Diana. What the Pope's words reveal about her. Could it be that the true story of Princess Diana is something entirely different than what we've been told? The Pope's shocking words raised a critical question. Who was the real Diana? Was she the selfless, charitable figure that the world loved? Or was there more to her story? Something far more complicated and dark? Pope Francis's critique of Diana highlighted the contradictions in her life. While she was praised for her charity work and her role as a royal rebel, the Pope's words suggested that there was another side to her actions. He pointed out that her public persona may have been carefully crafted to hide a more troubling reality, one that few people had ever seen. What did the Pope mean when he spoke of Diana's private life? What did he know about her relationships, her true intentions, and the darker moments that were kept out of the spotlight? Diana, once a global symbol of kindness and grace, now found herself at the center of a debate about her true nature. For years, the world viewed Diana through the lens of admiration, but Pope Francis's comments forced a re-evaluation of everything. Was her legacy one of selflessness, or was there a hidden narrative that had been concealed from the public? The Pope's words have left the world questioning everything we thought we knew about Diana. The royal family's response: silent or strategic? How will the royal family respond to Pope Francis's shocking comments about Princess Diana? The Vatican had just dropped a bombshell, and now all eyes were on the royals to see how they would handle this unprecedented critique of their late family member. For decades, Diana had been the beloved people's princess, but the Pope's remarks threatened to tarnish that image. Would the royal family distance themselves from the Vatican's position, or would they remain silent to avoid further controversy? Historically, the royal family has remained tight-lipped when it comes to Diana's legacy, choosing to honor her memory while avoiding any public disputes about her character. However, the Pope's words were not something they could easily ignore. The royal family now faced a delicate balancing act: defend Diana, or acknowledge the uncomfortable truths that the Pope had hinted at. Some speculated that the royal family's silence was strategic. By not publicly addressing the Pope's statements, they could allow the controversy to fade, focusing instead on maintaining Diana's image as a humanitarian and a mother. But what if staying silent would only amplify the claims? Could their silence be interpreted as complicity in the accusations, or was it simply their way of protecting her legacy? As the world waited for the royal family's response, one thing became clear. The Pope's comments had placed Diana's legacy in a perilous position, and the royals' next steps would be crucial in determining how her memory would be shaped for generations to come. Was Diana really the people's princess? Is the image of Diana as the people's princess a carefully constructed myth? What if the reality of her character didn't align with the public's perception? Pope Francis's comments have cast a long shadow on this cherished image, causing many to rethink the narrative that has surrounded Diana since her untimely death. For decades, Diana was hailed as a symbol of compassion and grace, always involved in charitable endeavors and fighting for the underdog. But the Pope's words suggested there may have been more to Diana's story that was hidden from the public. Was Diana's fame built on a persona that didn't reflect the true nature of her actions? Did the public overlook certain elements of her life because they didn't align with the image of the selfless, perfect princess? Pope Francis hinted at a deeper truth about Diana's public and private life. Could it be that her charitable work, her rebellious nature, and her status as a fashion icon were part of a grand performance designed to distract from more troubling behaviors behind the scenes? This revelation left many asking whether the people's princess was truly as selfless as the world had believed. As the details of her life are reevaluated in light of the Pope's comments, Diana's legacy may not be as unblemished as many once thought. The question remains: how much of Diana's life was an act, and how much of it was the real woman behind the fame? The secret life of Princess Diana. What if everything we thought we knew about Princess Diana was just the surface? The Pope's shocking remarks suggested that there was a side to Diana that no one had ever seen, until now. Was her life really as pure and innocent as it was made out to be? Or was there a secret side to her that the public never got to witness? In the years since her death, Princess Diana has been remembered as a figure of kindness and charity. She captivated the world with her vulnerability, her warmth, and her humanitarian efforts. But Pope Francis's comments point to a much more complicated figure, a woman who may not have lived the way many believed. Could it be that the private Diana was nothing like the public figure that everyone adored? The truth, according to the Pope, is that Diana was not always the selfless, flawless woman she appeared to be. Her decisions, relationships, and personal life were far more complex than the carefully curated image she projected. What secrets did Diana keep hidden, and what was the Pope's role in revealing them to the world? As these revelations surface, people are left questioning everything they once believed about Diana. Could the secret life of the princess change the way she's remembered forever? A deeper connection. Why did the Vatican choose to speak out about Princess Diana now? Could Pope Francis have been holding on to this information for years, waiting for the right moment to reveal it? The connection between Diana and the Catholic Church has always been a subject of intrigue, especially given her closeness to various religious figures during her life. While Diana's relationship with the royal family has always been at the forefront of public discussions, her ties to the Church have often gone unnoticed. But now, Pope Francis's words hint at a deeper involvement between Diana and the Vatican than anyone had previously imagined. Could this be the reason why the Vatican has chosen to speak out now? Was there more to their relationship than simply being a public figure who supported charitable causes? The Pope's comments raise questions about Diana's true interactions with religious leaders and institutions. Was her admiration for the Church genuine, or was it another facet of her carefully constructed image? These new revelations suggest that the Vatican may have had a closer relationship with Diana than the public was ever led to believe. Now, as the truth about Diana's connections with the Vatican comes to light, the world is left wondering, what role did the Church play in shaping the legacy of the woman once adored by millions? The untold truth of Diana's death. What the Vatican knows. What if Diana's tragic death was tied to something far more complex than we ever imagined? As Pope Francis breaks his silence on Diana, new questions arise about the true circumstances surrounding her untimely passing. While the world was told that her death was an unfortunate accident, Pope Francis's words suggest that there might be more to the story than meets the eye. For years, conspiracy theories surrounding Diana's death have swirled, but the Vatican's involvement in this narrative has always been unclear. Was there something the Church knew that was never revealed to the public? Why has Pope Francis suddenly decided to speak up now? And what does he know about the events leading up to Diana's tragic end? The Pope's comments have ignited a firestorm of speculation about the untold details of that fateful night in Paris. Were there forces at work that went beyond a simple car crash? Could the Vatican have information that could change the way we view Diana's death forever? With Pope Francis's revelations, the door has been opened to new investigations into the mystery surrounding Diana's passing. The public's thirst for answers has only grown, and it's clear that the story is far from over. What role will the Vatican play in uncovering the truth, if any? The ripple effect. How do Pope Francis's shocking words affect the legacy of Princess Diana? Once beloved as the humanitarian icon, Diana's reputation now faces a critical crossroads. What the world once celebrated has now been called into question, and the impact of the Pope's words may ripple through history, altering how future generations view the people's princess. Diana was always painted as a martyr, someone who endured personal struggles and an unhappy marriage for the greater good. Her charitable acts and philanthropic work seemed to overshadow any controversy. But now, with the Pope's controversial remarks about her character, Diana's image is under scrutiny. Could this shift in perception reshape the way history remembers her? The implications go beyond just Diana's image. They impact the way the public views fame, power, and influence. Pope Francis's criticism of her actions challenges the idea of celebrity as a force for good, complicating the legacy that Diana spent years building. Could this public rebuke change how people see her entire journey, from her marriage to Charles to her untimely death? With her legacy in flux, the world is left questioning. Can Diana's memory survive the new revelations? Or will this be the defining moment that changes how we remember her for good? The Vatican's hidden influence. Why has the Vatican stayed silent for so long? What secrets has the Church been protecting about Princess Diana? And why are they suddenly coming to light? Pope Francis's decision to speak out has raised serious questions about the role the Vatican played behind the scenes during Diana's life, her marriage to Prince Charles, and even her tragic death. For years, the Vatican maintained a quiet distance from the drama that surrounded the British royal family. But could there have been more involvement than anyone realized? Pope Francis's comments shed light on a possible hidden influence, one that may have shaped the trajectory of Diana's life in ways the public could never have guessed. Was the Vatican trying to protect her? Or was there something they didn't want the world to see? The questions around Diana's relationship with the Vatican are now becoming more urgent. The Vatican's power extends beyond the religious world. It reaches into the political and social fabric of global affairs. Could their role in Diana's life have been more than just a connection with the Church? Was there a political motivation behind the way the Vatican handled Diana's presence? And how much did they really know about her struggles? As Pope Francis continues to speak, the secrets of the Vatican's influence may become clearer. What else is hidden in the archives that could change the narrative of Princess Diana's life forever? A darker truth behind her charitable image. What if the world's perception of Princess Diana's charity work wasn't all it seemed? While she was hailed as the Queen of Compassion, giving her time and energy to countless charitable causes, could there have been a darker side to her philanthropic endeavors? Pope Francis's recent comments have opened up a whole new perspective, suggesting that there was more beneath the surface than what was shown to the public. For decades, Diana's charitable contributions were widely celebrated. She was adored for her dedication to helping others, from the HIV/AIDS crisis to landmine victims. However, the Pope's remarks suggest that there might have been ulterior motives behind some of these efforts. Could Diana have used her charity work as a way to bolster her public image and distract from personal struggles? Was her selflessness truly as genuine as the world believed, or were there complex motivations at play? This chapter unveils the possibility that Diana's image as a saintly figure might have been carefully curated, serving to create a narrative of a perfect princess, one that hid some of her more personal, private battles. As the truth about her public and private life unravels, we are left to wonder how much of Diana's legacy was carefully manufactured to shape the way the world saw her. As Pope Francis opens the door to these possibilities, the question becomes, how many more secrets are left to uncover? The deeper we dig, the more we realize that there's so much more to Diana's story than what we've been told. And with each revelation, her image shifts, leaving the public to reconsider everything they once held to be true. How Pope Francis's revelation changes. Diana's image. What does Pope Francis's revelation mean for Diana's legacy moving forward? The Pope's words may have shocked the world, but they have also forced people to reassess what they thought they knew about the Princess of Wales. Diana, once viewed as an almost saint-like figure, now finds herself at the center of an unexpected controversy. How will this affect her place in history? The image of Diana as a beloved, almost untouchable figure has already begun to shift. For those who saw her as a symbol of grace and kindness, the Pope's words are a rude awakening. Could the truth about her actions be so different from the public persona that was carefully crafted? The debate surrounding her legacy has now been redefined, and the conversation is only just beginning. Pope Francis's revelation has sparked a global conversation, with people debating what it means to be a true humanitarian and icon. Is Diana's image forever changed, or can she still be the symbol of compassion that people have cherished for decades? This shift in public perception may not just affect her reputation, but could also alter how we view other public figures who have similarly been idolized. As we look ahead, it's clear that Diana's legacy will never be the same. Whether or not the public can reconcile the truth with the image remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: Pope Francis's words have made it impossible to look at Diana the same way again. What this means for Princess Diana's legacy in history. What will be the lasting effect of Pope Francis's comments on Diana's legacy? As more details emerge, the question of whether or not Diana's reputation can survive these new revelations becomes even more pressing. Could this moment mark a significant turning point in how we view her legacy, or will it ultimately fade into the background of a complex and multifaceted life? While Pope Francis's words have already caused a stir, they are unlikely to be the last word on Diana. As the world continues to process this new information, historians and fans alike will likely engage in a lengthy debate about her life, her motivations, and her legacy. But one thing remains certain: Pope Francis's intervention has irrevocably changed the way we understand the Princess of Wales. Diana may have passed away more than 2 decades ago, but her impact on the world remains profound. The question now is whether this new information will strengthen her legacy as a trailblazer for charity and humanitarian work, or whether it will ultimately diminish the story that has been told for so long. The answer is unclear, but the journey to understanding Diana's true place in history has only just begun. As the world reflects on the Pope's revelations, it's important to remember that history is never a one-sided narrative. Diana's story, once framed in the light of her sacrifices and achievements, is now subject to a much more complex interpretation, one that will continue to evolve in the years to come. Will Diana's true legacy ever be known? How do we truly know the legacy of someone who spent her life in the public eye? Princess Diana's legacy has always been clouded with both admiration and controversy. But with Pope Francis's recent revelations, a new question has emerged. Can we ever know the true legacy of someone like Diana, or will her story always be shrouded in mystery? The public's perception of Diana was largely built by the media and the royal family, but now, with new information coming to light, her legacy is being questioned in a way it never has been before. Could the truth be more complicated than the simple narrative of a beloved princess who changed the world with her charity work? As we continue to reflect on Pope Francis's words, we are reminded that Diana was more than just a public figure. She was a person, with flaws, complexities, and a life that was not as perfect as the world often thought. The question now is whether her true legacy will be defined by the imperfections that have now come to light, or if the love and admiration people have for her will continue to overshadow the darker parts of her story. One thing is clear: Diana's legacy will never be the same again. But whether this revelation will help us understand her true self, or whether it will be lost in the shadows of speculation, remains to be seen. As the world digests Pope Francis's shocking revelations about Princess Diana, one thing is clear: her legacy is far from the untouchable fairy tale we once believed. Whether these new details will change how we remember her, or if they'll fade away with time, remains to be seen. What do you think? Can Diana's legacy survive these revelations, or will this be the turning point that redefines how history remembers the people's princess? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. We'll see you in the next video.